Do you immediately freak out at the thought of expressing yourself, especially during tough conversations? Today, I'm sharing with you my step-by-step process on how to speak your truth confidently so that no matter what conversations you're having or who you're speaking with, you can trust yourself to communicate authentically and powerfully. Hey lovely, welcome to my channel. I'm Tatiana Simone, the Heartbreak Doula. I support women who are navigating heartbreak. I help you to heal your heart, reclaim your power, and transform from wounded to wise. When we're having vulnerable or emotionally charged conversations, it can be difficult to express ourselves fully, especially if we're not used to sharing how we truly feel or feel safe to do so. Expressing our truths is so important, but sometimes when there's so many emotions involved, we can find ourselves not knowing what to say or exactly how to say it. I remember in my past relationships, I would find myself in a intense conversation with my partner at the time, and I would have so many things that I wanted to say, and I just felt like I could not express it. Every time the opportunity came for me to share what I needed to say and what I wanted to say, I would just crumble. And that left me feeling unheard and deeply disappointed with myself. I was stifling my voice and suppressing my truth, which was hurting my heart. As I continued to heal, I decided to put an end to that pattern and always speak my truth powerfully and confidently. These practices that I'm sharing with you today, you can use them whether you're having a tough conversation with your partner, a closure conversation with your ex, or any other conversations in your life. This practice will support you in always being able to speak your truth authentically. When it comes to speaking from our hearts, the first step is to get grounded and centered. When we are having conversations that have our emotions all over the place, it's going to be very important for you to take a pause and allow yourself to come back to center so that you can connect to your heart and hear the truth of your heart and express that. When we're feeling or moving through waves of emotions, it can cause us to feel disconnected from ourselves and therefore unable to articulate how we truly feel. So it's going to be very supportive for you and speaking from your heart and expressing yourself to get grounded and centered. So this could look like lighting a candle, turning on your favorite music, sitting in your favorite spot, creating the space for you to get comfortable so that you can soothe your nervous system, calm down from the waves of emotions, and deeply connect into your heart so that you can hear what it is that you're truly feeling and express that. For me, when I do this practice, I always dim the lights, light my favorite candle, and lay on my bed and place a hand on my heart and a hand on my belly. This really supports me in feeling grounded in my body and allows me to hear what it is that my heart has to say. The next step is to ask your higher self for support. Your higher self is deeply wise. It is the source of your intuition. It's the part of you that goes beyond the mind, beyond the ego, and has a deep knowing of all things within your heart. So even when the mind feels confused and foggy, if you ask your higher self a question, it will know your deepest truth. So asking your higher self for support is going to be very helpful for you to get clear on knowing exactly what you want to say and how you want to say it. Once you ask your higher self for support, take a deep breath and be patient for what will come. There's no need to overthink it. You can also give yourself a mantra to support you in trusting that the words will flow. You can say something like, I allow myself to speak from my heart. Say whatever will be supportive for you and supporting the connection to you and your heart. The next step is to record yourself. Pull up your voice recorder on your phone or on your computer and sit it right beside you. From there, all you need to do is speak. There's no need to try to craft a perfect sentence or overthink it. Just allow yourself to speak freely. With you recording, there's also no need to try to write everything down or remember it all. Just allow yourself to be in the moment and say whatever comes through. A helpful tip is to almost forget that you're even recording. This will allow you to feel more comfortable and at ease. And with that, you are able to express yourself much more freely. The next step is to refine your words. Go back and listen to the voice note and write down anything that stands out to you. Anything that you feel is resonant and relevant to the conversation, write it down. Once you've written down everything from the voice recording that you actually want to use for your conversation, you will hop into the next process, which is to organize your words into bullet points. When you're refining your words, it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be pretty. Just make sure that you are capturing everything that you said in your voice note that you actually want to say in the conversation. Once you have your words listed out into bullet points, you'll want to identify a few main topics. Then from there, you'll just fill in the corresponding bullet points. This will allow you to stay on topic when you're having your conversation while still giving you the space to speak freely without having to memorize everything that you wrote down. The bullet points will be the guiding light during the conversation. Now that you've connected to your heart and identified everything that you wanted to say during this conversation and written it down and got it organized, the next step is to practice in the mirror. It can be so uncomfortable to speak our truth out loud, let alone to someone else. Practicing in the mirror will help you move through that discomfort. It will help you move through any resistance in any area of stuckness that come up when you say these words out loud. As you're saying these words to yourself in the mirror, emotions may come to the surface, and this will allow you the time and the space to move through those emotions and process them so that when you have the actual conversation, you're communicating from a clear and grounded space. Practicing in the mirror allows us to also create a space of safety for ourselves. When there are painful moments or experiences of us expressing ourselves in the past, it can hold us back from actually expressing ourselves in the present moment. Holding yourself in safety through this mirror practice allows for you to nurture those parts of you that feel fearful, timid, or afraid to openly express yourself. It allows you to rewrite any past memories of pain in you speaking your truth and now move forward from a place of power. As you continue to hold yourself in safety and love, it could be very supportive for you to do a little digging and reflect on some past experiences that may be holding you back from actually authentically speaking your truth today. Practicing in the mirror will also support you in learning to witness yourself and holding space for yourself and your truth. Holding this space for yourselves expands your ability to validate your own self and your own truth. So that as you're going through these conversations, you're not needing anyone to respond in a certain way. You're showing up from a place of full empowerment. You're using your voice, speaking your truth, and holding your own heart. So that no matter how anyone responds or doesn't respond, you know that you're going to be okay. Now that you've moved through all of the steps, it is time for the most important one, which is embodying your words. Allowing yourself to embody your truth and standing confidently in your words and expression is so important. When we embody our truth and then express it, it's definitely felt. When you're having this conversation and you're fully connected to your heart and expressing your words from an embodied space, the person that you're having the conversation with will be able to know and feel that you are not easily swayed and that you will not be moved from your truth. This also supports you with the outcome of the conversation. No matter what the outcome is, when you go into the conversation from a place of full empowerment and fully embodying your expression, your truth, your heart, you can walk away from the conversation knowing that you did exactly what you needed to do, which was to communicate your truth. There was a time when I was in a relationship and I remember very clearly being swayed by what the other person would say. I would say how I would feel and then the other person would say something and then I would be like, nope, that's actually how I feel. Yes, that's my truth. I didn't notice this until after the relationship ended. But when it finally ended, I felt like there were so many things that I had left unsaid that I wanted to express. So when the time came around for me to express myself, I used this practice and I was able to communicate my truth from such an embodied space that when the other person would speak, I was not swayed in any way. I was not second guessing what I had to say. I was not feeling timid about what I've shared, and I was not intimidated by what they shared. I was fully in my power and embodied in my truth. And utilizing these practices will help you do the same. If you want to take this practice a step further, a bonus tip is to create an energetic bubble. When we create energetic bubbles for ourselves before going into these conversations, it further supports us in staying in our power. Have you had those conversations where you're speaking with someone and you feel like you're just talking in circles and nothing is really getting heard, or you just feel completely drained after? Or maybe going into those conversations where you just immediately felt that the energy was off? Creating your own energetic bubble will be super supportive for you to avoid all of that. This allows you to be super intentional with your energy and to create a barrier or a shield between your energy and the other person's energy, so that no matter what they're moving through and experiencing and their emotions and their responses to your words, you do not have to take that on as yourself. It gives you the space to stay fully in your power and allow you to walk away from that conversation without feeling like you overshared, overgave, or gave your energy and power away. As you go into these conversations, it could be very supportive for you to have an intention. Your intention will allow you to walk away from the conversation feeling complete. We don't always know how the conversation is going to go, but by having our own personal intention, we can ensure that no matter what the outcome of the conversation is, we can know that we showed up for ourselves and walk away from the entire conversation feeling complete. As you move through these tough conversations, you now have the tools to move through the mind chatter, connect to your heart, and speak your truth authentically and powerfully. Your truth is valuable, and you hold the power to discern and decide who gets to receive your truth. If you are desiring a space where you like to continue to practice in deepening speaking your truth and being held and witnessed by others who are accepting you in your truth fully, I invite you to join my exclusive Facebook group, The Healing Heartbreak Haven. This is a safe and powerful space for women who are healing from heartbreak to experience being compassionately witnessed, supported, and celebrated. You'll receive daily guidance from me, as well as be in connections with other women who are devoted to their healing and fully speaking their truth. If you're ready to be held as you honor your voice, stand in your power, and always express yourself truthfully, click the link in the description box to join today. I cannot wait to see you inside.